Our last two speakers are Elissa Gross and Rachel Layman. Good morning.
Elissa Gross. Good morning, board members. I'm the Executive Director of the Art of Prevention. At your last meeting, Ms. Edgecombe asked how those in the audience saw their role. I attended the Community Crime Prevention Collaborative Leadership and Subcommittee sessions last week, and am a member of the Anti-Bullying Advisory Committee. Our nonprofit organization helps to prevent violence and improve school security by providing training, technology, and resource development. The PeerPal program addresses injury, fatality, and psychological trauma related to internal and external threats campuses face. PeerPal is built to support district incident management plans in an effort to create standardized violence-free zones. A violence-free zone isn't a utopia. Rather, it's a place with a concrete definition. It's a place where facilities exceed safety regulations, communication systems are developed and accessible, emergency response and crisis recovery is practiced. The population is resilient, versed in early reporting dynamics, values one another and themselves. A place where leaders view policy and procedure as living documents. Key questions raised by the collaborative include how to define violence, how to move from crisis-prone to crisis-prepared, and how all of us as contributors can come together within a unified action plan with measurable outcomes. These are precisely the types of questions that the Art of Prevention asks every day. The PeerPal blueprint designed to create violence-free zones is a portal for coordinating efforts, tapping resources, and promoting social enterprise. Our team brings together law enforcement, social work, education, training, safety and health, environmental design, communication technology, transportation, and community preservation. Allow me to paraphrase. Chairman Griffin said we need to put a face on violence. Chairperson, I'm sorry, Griffin. To put a face on violence by getting to know the stories of individuals. As a young girl, my colleague Rachel Layman suffered a long-term effect from an incident which took place at her school. Rachel has given of her time and personal resources to help develop the PeerPal program because of her firsthand experience. She's able to share her story with you today only because of determination and grace. Please make a place at the table for local nonprofits to participate in strategic and action plans. Hillsborough County has double the violence crime index when compared to the rest of the country, but we can be heroes in times of need if we are prepared. Thank you very much for the work you do. I look forward to the challenges and not being just the audience. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rachel Layman, and I'm just here today to give a testimonial. At around 1970, when I was in school, I experienced I guess you would call it a harassment by a young boy who sort of violated me while I was standing outside of the classroom. As a consequence, I developed a stutter, and I later in my 20s learned that 2% of the population focuses stress on their vocal cords, and generally that stress, a stressful issue generally occurs when you're a young person. And at some point, the stress manifests in the muscles of the vocal cords, a stutter comes out, and then the sort of spiral of being afraid to speak and being made fun of by people when you do speak causes the habitual stuttering. And I learned this in my 20s when a good friend of mine asked me to pursue getting help for this, and I discovered a scientist in New York City, Martin F. Schwartz, with the National Center for Stuttering, and learned his technique, which is an airflow technique, which allowed me to retrain my vocal cords in speaking situations to not lock. And I carried the technique with me. It was a 2-year journey, and through my work, I was able to use this technique day after day after day in all my speaking situations and learned to relax my vocal cords and therefore over time remove the fear of speaking. And as a result, I'm 50 and I do pretty well. But the point of my speaking to you today is to point out that an incident that happened to me when I was a very young person did cause psychological trauma. And of course, I didn't think of it in those terms until I grew up and became a woman. And so, hopefully this helps in some way that I can share this with you. And through our PeerPal program, we hope to bring to schools a method of being able to report violence and harassment and those issues. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, ladies. We appreciate it.